Have you ever wondered what's really driving the biggest breakthroughs in healthcare, especially, in areas that could fundamentally change how we fight diseases like cancer? Well, today we're peeling back the layers on one of the most dynamic sectors out there, the cancer vaccines market. Our mission on this deep dive is to cut through the data in the Global Cancer Vaccines Market Forecast 2025-2033 report. This one's from Cognitive Market Research. We really want to extract the true insights, maybe some surprising facts, and understand what these projections really mean for the future of medicine and for us.
And it's a pretty comprehensive report. It maps out the market's size, its share, and gives us forecasts globally, regionally, and, well, right down to the country level. That's from 2021 all the way through 2033. Understanding these trends isn't just about the numbers. It's absolutely crucial for grasping where the next wave of medical innovation is headed and, frankly, where the big investments are going.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Let's start with the overall global picture because the growth here is, well, it's astonishing. In 2021, the global cancer vaccines market was already significant, pulling in nearly $7.8 billion in sales revenue. But here's where it gets wild. By 2025, just a couple of years from now, that's projected to jump to over $13 billion. And then, looking further ahead to 2033, revenues are expected to surge to almost $38 billion.
38 billion, yeah.
That's reflected in a powerful compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, of about 14% over that forecast period. So when you see numbers like that, what does it truly signal about the scale of change?
Well, what's fascinating here is the sheer velocity of that growth. I mean, a 14% CAGR for over a decade. That implies, wow, nearly a five-fold increase in market value. This isn't just a bump, it's sustained, robust expansion. It really signals a fundamental shift in how we approach cancer treatment. It speaks volumes about the accelerating pace of biomedical advancements, particularly in, areas like mRNA technology and personalized vaccines. And crucially, there's this increasing demand for innovative immunotherapies, treatments that can offer more targeted and hopefully less toxic solutions than traditional methods.
That makes a lot of sense. The innovation is clearly translating into market potential. Now, let's zoom in a bit because while this is global, some regions are really leading the charge. Let's start with North America. This region remains one of the largest contributors, right?
Absolutely. Still a powerhouse.
In 2021, North America accounted for over $3 billion of the global market, and that's projected to more than quadruple to nearly $13.5 billion by 2033, still maintaining a strong double-digit growth rate.
Around 13.2% CAGR there.
And within North America, the United States is, well, predictably, the dominant force. It alone accounted for well over $2.2 billion back in 2021.
Right.
On track to reach close to $9.5 billion by 2033. That's a CGR of about 12.8%. Other significant players like Canada and Mexico are also showing impressive growth.
They are. Canada's looking at about $570 million in 2021, growing to $2.67 billion by 2033, a 13.7% CAGR.
And Mexico.
Mexico in particular has a really robust CAGR, nearing 15%, starting from around $239 million, expected to hit $1.27 billion.
Okay, so this raises an important question. What exactly is driving North America's continued dominance?
Well, beyond the general drivers we mentioned, the report implicitly points to a few key factors. Plus significant private and public investment in cutting-edge R&D, that's huge, and regulatory pathways that, while they're rigorous, can also sometimes expedite approval for these groundbreaking therapies.
Right, the ecosystem.
Exactly. The sheer volume of clinical trials,
Yeah.
the robust biotech ecosystem in the U.S. and Canada, it gives them a substantial head start in actually bringing these new vaccines to market.
Okay, let's shift gears. Let's head over to Europe. We see another really significant market for cancer vaccines there.
Yes, very significant.
The European market, while slightly smaller than North America's, is also on an impressive trajectory. It was valued at over $2.1 billion in 2021 and expected to surge to nearly $10 billion by 2033. That's with a CAGR around 13.6%. Pretty similar to North America overall.
Very close, yeah.
And when you drill down into the country specifics, major economies like the UK, Germany, France are substantial contributors showing healthy growth. Like the UK starting at $361 million, going to $1.5 billion. Germany, $388 million to $1.67 billion. France, $326 million to $1.38 billion. Italy, $231 million up to over $1 billion. Russia, $177 million to nearly $900 million, all strong CGRs between, 12.5% and 14%.
Right, solid growth across the board in the major economies. But what's particularly fascinating here is the varying pace within Europe. Some of the smaller markets are showing exceptional growth.
Oh, interesting. Like who?
Well, take Spain and Denmark, for example. Both are seeing exceptionally strong growth, with CGRs over 15.5%.
Over 15.5%.
Wow.
Yeah, Spain's projected to grow from about $118 million in 2021 to over $670 million by 2033. And Denmark, from around $108 million to over $627 million.
What does this suggest?
It suggests that even within these, mature markets, there are pockets of extremely rapid adoption. This is likely driven by things like proactive national health policies, maybe growing awareness, perhaps some innovative public-private partnerships focused on advanced cancer care.
Makes sense. And you have others like Switzerland, Luxembourg, and the sort of rest of Europe category also showing really strong KDRs, mostly in the 15% range too, apart from Luxembourg, which is a bit lower but still solid. It's exactly. Switzerland, around $89 million to $480 million. That's 15.1% CAGR. Rest of Europe, 191 million to nearly a billion, 15.3% CAGR. Luxembourg, about 32 million to 127 million dollars, still a good 12.5% CAGR. So yeah, widespread, strong performance.
Okay, now, if you thought those numbers were impressive, brace yourselves. The Asia-Pacific region. This region is showing some of the fastest expansion globally. It really signals a major shift in the market landscape.
It really does. The growth rates are remarkable.
This market was valued at about $1.7 billion back in 2021, but it's projected to explode to nearly $9.8 billion by 2033.
Incredible.
Boasting an incredible overall KZIJR for the region of over 15.6%.
Just slightly edging out some of those high-growth European countries we just mentioned, for the region as a whole.
Within Asia-Pacific, China is obviously a dominant player, projected to grow from nearly $580 million in 2021 to over $3.5 billion by 2033. That's an incredible CAGR of over 16%.
16%, yeah.
Huge numbers. But India truly stands out, one of the highest growth rates anywhere in this report. Starting at just over $212 million in 2021 and climbing to almost $1.4 billion by 2033, with a staggering CAGR of nearly 17%.
16.9% to be precise. That's really something. Highest in the report.
And it's not just them. Other significant players like Japan, $337 million to $1.65 billion. That's over 14% CAGR.
South Korea.
And Korea, yeah, $153 million up to $815 million, nearly 15% CAGR.
Australia. $131 million to $681 million, almost 15% CAGR.
Even Singapore, smaller base, $50 million to $250 million, still over 13% CAGR.
And you've got Southeast Asia as a block, $158 million to $254 million, over 14.5% CAGR.
Just wow.
If we connect this back to the bigger picture, this rapid growth in Asia-Pacific, it signals a profound shift in global health dynamics. These remarkably high KGRs aren't just numbers on a page. They imply massive future investment in healthcare infrastructure there. They reflect a rising middle class with, greater potential access to advanced treatments and a growing prioritization of innovative medical solutions in these really populous regions.
So more people getting access.
It means potentially millions more people could gain access to these life-changing therapies. It could really reshape the global burden of cancer. It's a clear indication of a sort of global rebalancing in healthcare investment and focus.
That's a crucial point about global rebalancing. Let's broaden our view again, look at other key regions, because despite maybe lower starting points, they are truly emerging as powerhouses in this market.
Absolutely. The growth rates are telling.
Okay, South America, the cancer vaccines market there, projected to quintuple from over $414 million in 2021 to over $2.1 billion by 2033.
Strong KGR there, too, over 14.5%.
And Brazil is a particular standout, isn't it?
Yes. Brazil's expected to grow from about $165 million to over $900 million by 2033. That's showing a CR over 15%. Very strong.
And others like Argentina, Colombia, Peru, Chile, all showing very robust double-digit growth as well. CGRs mostly in the 13-15% range.
Exactly. Argentina from 79 meters to 399 meters. Colombia 57 meters to 299 meters. Peru 35 meters to 161 meters. Chile 32 meters to 147 millimeters. And the rest of South America collectively still growing well over 12.5%.
Okay, moving to the Middle East. This market generated nearly $330 million in 2021, expected to surge to over $1.6 billion by 2033, share GR of almost 14.7%.
Another strong region. And look at Qatar there.
Right. Qatar shows particularly remarkable growth, projected to expand from about $17 million in 2021
Tidy start.
to over $100 million by 2033. That's a CGR of over 16%, similar to China's rate.
It is. Really impressive. And you also see Saudi Arabia and Turkey making significant strides too.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia, $129 million to $671 million, nearly 15% CJR. Turkey, $62 million to $324 million, just over 15% CJR.
And the UAE, Egypt, rest of Middle East,
Yeah.
all solid double-digit growth, around 13.14%.
Okay, and lastly, Africa, starting from just over $210 million in 2021,
The smaller base, yes.
forecasted to expand to nearly $930 million by 2033, with a solid CJR of over 12%.
Still double-digit growth, which is key.
And within the continent, Nigeria and South Africa are leading the way. Nigeria, 64 MMs to 295 MMs. South Africa, 81 MMs to 334 MMs.
Nigeria, slightly faster growth at 12.5% CAGR. South Africa, around 11.5%. The rest of Africa category also growing well over 12.5%. And this really touches on a critical point about health equity. Despite their lower starting points compared to North America or Europe, these consistent double-digit growth rates across South America, the Middle East, and Africa, they're highly significant.
How so?
Well, it suggests a growing capacity and, importantly, demand for sophisticated medical solutions in regions that have historically had more limited access to advanced treatments. As these markets mature, it could dramatically influence global health outcomes. It could democratize access to cutting-edge cancer care in a way we haven't seen before.
So what does this all boil down to for you, the learner, trying to make sense of this rapidly evolving landscape? I mean, the overarching narrative seems crystal clear. The cancer vaccines market isn't just growing, it's experiencing an unprecedented worldwide surge. It really feels like it's heralding a true revolution in how we approach this disease.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if we synthesize the key drivers we've seen threaded throughout the report, this explosive growth is primarily powered by really several interconnected forces.
Okay.
We have rapid advancements in healthcare technology, especially breakthroughs in mRNA, personalized medicine, making these vaccines more effective, more tailored.
Right.
This is coupled with proactive government initiatives. Many are fast-tracking research funding, streamlining regulatory approvals for these innovative treatments.
Okay.
And underlying all of this is a continuously increasing demand from patients, from healthcare providers, for more innovative, less invasive immunotherapies. These aren't isolated trends. It's a powerful combined momentum.
And recapping the regional dynamics quickly, North America and Europe currently hold significant market shares poised for continued strong growth.
For sure.
But it's Asia Pacific, the Middle East, and South America that are truly leading the charge in terms of, that growth trajectory, showing some of the highest KGRs in the world. This really indicates a significant shift in where future investment and hopefully patient access will be focused.
Which brings us to an important question for you, the listener, to consider. How might these market dynamics influence things down the line? Think about global research priorities, pharmaceutical investments, and ultimately, patient access to these potentially life-changing cancer treatments in the years to come. The numbers we've discussed strongly hint at a future where these therapies become far more widespread, much more globally accessible than they are today.
That brings us towards the end of our deep dive into the Global Cancer Vaccines Market Forecast 2025-2033 report. We've dissected the numbers, yes, but I think more importantly, we've explored the profound implications of this incredibly important and rapidly growing sector in healthcare.
Yeah, and we've seen how knowledge extracted from a detailed market report like this, when you distill it and analyze it, can quickly provide a really comprehensive understanding of a complex, evolving global trend. It goes far beyond just the raw data points.
Definitely. So for your final provocative thought today, as these cancer vaccines become increasingly prevalent and hopefully more accessible globally, what innovations in healthcare delivery, maybe in infrastructure or even in public health education, what will be most crucial to ensure they actually have the widespread impact these numbers suggest is possible? It's certainly a question worth mulling over. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.